a service of CNC Worldwide.
This daily podcast is a service of CNC News brought to you by the Greece Chamber of Commerce, providing more than 800 member companies with business solutions since 1984. Forecast always across the top of your CNC local news page. We have got a couple of breaking items before we get into the rest of the news. A teenager's been arrested for Monday's murder of another Rochester teenager. 18-year-old Dante Rankin is charged with shooting 19-year-old Kamari Hodrick at the corner of Genesee and Hawley Streets Monday afternoon. Police say the two knew each other and had some sort of ongoing dispute. And a man is dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound in the parking lot of the Monroe County Medical Examiner's office. A construction worker on the site confirmed the event, but he didn't want to talk to us about what he saw. Police and rescue units were called to the scene about 9:30 Wednesday morning, but they found there was nothing that could be done, and as this is written, police haven't said anything about this. We don't have any further information. New Yorkers are recovering their optimism, according to a poll released Wednesday morning by the Siena College Research Institute. Siena's monthly index of consumer sentiment went up by 3.7 points in November after taking a slide in October. The mood turned around so fast that New Yorkers' willingness to spend money increased at twice the national average for the month. Still below the national average, though. Siena's Dr. Doug Lundstrom says this is across the board. Republicans, Democrats, men and women upstate and downstate all are feeling better about the future of the economy. New York's Retail Council says there were no surprises from Black Friday and the other Thanksgiving weekend sales. They ran exactly even with 2012, despite the Thanksgiving Day store openings and all the specials. Retail Council CEO James Sharon says the retailers he's talking with are upbeat about how they expect to do this month. Sharon also says the Thanksgiving Day store hours are here to stay, not so much because they brought in more money, but to cut down the sheer volume and the pandemonium of Black Friday. Rochester Police Chief James Shepard has lifted the conditional license of Plush, the St. Paul Street nightclub, citing a lack of security and a series of violent events outside that business. A city police spokeswoman says the owners of Plush violated the terms of their business license by not addressing the problems. Plush was most recently the scene of a dispute that spilled out onto the streets after the club closed early Thanksgiving morning. A fight reignited, guns were drawn, and 4 men were shot in a gun battle in the intersection of St. Paul and Andrews Streets. A 5th person was run down by a car trying to flee the scene. The St. Paul quarter has become more residential, and the residents of those condos and lofts have been increasingly vocal in their complaints about the nightclub. The Plush Facebook page says the owners intend to be open this weekend. Rochester Mayor-elect Lovely Warren plans to name James Shepard's replacement as the new police chief next week. Her transition team says the new mayor has interviewed 3 candidates to take over from Chief Shepard, who's retiring December 31st. 2 are reportedly from within the department. Monroe County's district attorney is dropping the charges against 3 Edison Tech High School basketball players arrested last week while the team waited to catch a bus at Main Street and Clinton in Rochester. Sandra Dourley issued a statement saying she has reviewed the facts and is dismissing the charges in the interest of justice. The 3 players were arrested for disorderly conduct. They were waiting for a bus to a team scrimmage at Aquinas High School when an officer told them to move along because they were obstructing pedestrians. The 3 said they were in front of the store waiting for their bus, but they were arrested. Buffalo media say the man whose stunt caused him to fall on top of another fan at Ralph Wilson Stadium has pleaded not guilty to assault and reckless endangerment. Rob Hopkins was released on his own recognizance, no prior record. He has to answer the charges at the end of January. Hopkins is the guy who tried to slide down the railing on the 3rd deck of the stadium, but then fell over backwards and dropped about 20 feet to fall on top of another man sitting on the 2nd deck. Both ended up in the hospital. Neither Hopkins or his lawyer had any comments. And a 19-year-old will serve 10 years in prison for stabbing another teen at a party in Penfield. Brandon Henderson was sentenced after pleading guilty to an assault charge for stabbing 16-year-old Paul Luft Jr. This happened March 23rd when Henderson and 2 friends crashed a party on Alpine Drive. To the left of the player window are links to these and other stories. At the bottom of the page, links you can use to post news and information directly to us. Next news podcast is whenever you click on this page and hear it. The updates are as necessary. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.